Hello, folks, and YWC Wrestling Shooters. This is Jake Cataldo 845, Jinx Nation. We're on the air. My shirt's kind of fading off. Please do not turn my microphone off. I will not have this. You little jimmies that have a conspiracy against me, you're gonna get got. Legend Killer, greatest of all time. If you smell what the Jinx is cooking. And this is your public service announcement and your regularly scheduled program. And we're on the air again. And we're discussing Taboo Tuesdays on a Wednesday. Yeah, I didn't get to do it last night. Sorry, folks. The GM is slipping. I gotta get caught up on my videos, man, for real. But like I said, a lot going on, so just bear with me. Wednesdays is gonna be Wishlist Wednesdays. I will be back. I promise, definitely. Later tonight, probably around 11:30, to do my wish list video. Or, well, it's going to be wish list Wednesday / Q&A Wednesdays. I'm actually not going to do a wish list video. I'm going to do a Q&A video. I'm going to come up with some question and answers for all your wrestling shooters out there, from Mugger Baby to Wrestling Rants and Reviews. Wrestling merchandise, Miss WWE, just everybody does wrestling shooting. I know I got sunburn on my face too, so it's kind of peeling, so it's, yeah. So, basically, I just ran down my Taboo Tuesday Diva talk for the Diva faction. Now, any wrestling shooter out there, if you could create a Diva faction, what would you name it? Who would be your leader, who would be your co-leader, and who would be your members? And yeah, I would just like to hear from y'all. A lot of y'all didn't do the last Taboo Tuesday where I said if you can create your own Diva organization, if you can, what would you name it? What would you name the 2 shows that you would put on the TV? What would you name the pay-per-views? What would you name, or not what you, yeah, what would you name titles? What would you name the titles? If you can make up a lot of different titles, besides the Women in the Divas title, what other titles would you come up with? Who would be in the organization? What divas would you put in the organization? And so forth and so forth. What rivalries would you start? Things of that nature. I'll probably do that later on. I'll get into that because I really didn't get into it the last time I did, a quick thing on it, whatever. So now, top 10 Diva tag teams. If you can put 2 divas together, who would you create as a tag team? I might add more later on because, I like doing the top 25, but off the top of my head, just by looking at the list of divas, this is what I came up with quickly. Of course, you'll have the powerhouse team of Chyna and Beth Phoenix. I think that would be an excellent motherfucking tag team. If you brought that tag team into Impact Wrestling for the Knockout tag team titles, who would beat them? You have 2 powerhouses that are just magnificent when it comes to being powerhouse divas. Yeah, that would be number 1. Number 2 would be AJ Lee and Lita. I think this would be an excellent mixed tag team as far as, well, not mixed tag team, but sort of a mixed tag team because they both do high flying and they both kind of remind you of luchadors, whatever, or X Division wrestlers, whatever. But in ways, they have 2 different styles. AJ, Lita does the aerial stuff, but she's also like ground and pound, wrestling. AJ Lee's just a high flyer altogether. You know what I mean? So it would be somewhat of a different, mixture of styles, whatever. But yeah, that would be my number 2 tag team. My second, well, oh no, rewind. Damn, wow. My 3rd tag team would be Angelina Love and Maurice. Now, why would I put this team together? They're both Canadian. If people don't know, Angelina Love comes from Canada. Maurice comes from Canada. I'd make them a Canadian-based tag team, and honestly, if I didn't have her in another tag team, I'd put Natalia as their manager. You know what I mean? Have an all diva, Canadian team. But I have Natalia in another tag team, and I will get that later. But yeah, Angela Love and Maurice, man, I think it'll be good. Angela Love got talent, man. It's just she right now is finally using it. Winter's bringing out the real talent in Angela Love. Maurice got talent. It's just the WWE's not using her. Number 4, Melina and Rosita. Now the reason I put Rosita here, because like I said, man, I think Rosita has a lot of talent. You know, she could be a great talent, and I'm gonna say this right now in the WWE, when it comes to pure base wrestling, since Michelle McCool's not there no more, when it comes to pure base wrestling, I think Melina is the best that they have right now. People may say Natalia because she was trained in the Hart family dungeon, but here's the thing. When you have Bret Hart not mentioning Natalia as the pure base wrestling talent in the WWE and saying Melina is, it just goes to show how more talented Melina is than Natalia. Yeah, Natalia was trained in a dungeon. I think Natalia is the second best right now when it comes to pure mat-based wrestling. Can't talk today. What the fuck? But yeah, and WWE's not using Melina right because of her backstage antics and rants and all that other shit that she does, antics and shit that she does backstage. She needs to straighten the shit up. And Melina, if you see this, straighten up, Melina, because you're my favorite diva, and I don't want to see you go, man, for real. But if you do go to TNA, probably be a good look for you too. You probably get used right over there. Number 5 tag team together, Trish and Mickie James. Now the reason I put this team together is because think about the rivalry they had. It was a great rivalry. They both can wrestle. They're both good in the ring. Just imagine what they can do together as a tag team. It'll be phenomenal, like AJ Styles. Mickie James. I'm not a big Mickie James fan. I do like Mickie, but I'm not gonna go all crazy for it. Whatever. You're gonna see my top 25 divas of all time, and the way I see the list, the way the list should be. You know what I mean? It may shock you, but like I said, there are only a few divas out there that I really, 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 really like. You know what I mean? And I'll let you know who they are too as well when I do the top 25, who I really, really, really like. You know what I mean? But I do enjoy watching Mickie James. I think she has talent. They're finally using her right in TNA or Impact Wrestling. So yeah. Number 6, Maxine and Layla. Like I said, not sure how much talent Maxine really has. I've seen her wrestle a little bit in Florida Championship Wrestling. Layla's a good talent. I think she's just underrated. And I think she's got skills in the ring. And to be mentored from Layla, just like Rosita would be mentored from Melina, what can you say, man? I think it'll be a good tag team, man. And Maxine's mic skills are phenomenal. Her attitude, the way she carries her, attitude about her and the way she talks on the mic, man. What you saw in NXT was just fucking bullshit. She's done some things in Florida Championship Wrestling when she got on the mic, and yeah, she knows how to get underneath people's skin. Number 7. I put this tag team together because it would be an interesting tag team. Natalya and Tamina. Okay, you have 2 second-generation female wrestlers. You have Natalya, who is the daughter of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and you have Tamina, who is the daughter of Jimmy Superfly Snuka. This would be an interesting tag team, man, because, I see Tamina as a powerhouse, and I see Natalya as a powerhouse, and the both of them together, it would be good. But you could see Tamina doing, moves like her dad, like Superfly, and you could see Natalya just a mixture of Jim the Anvil, Bret the Hitman Hart, and Owen Hart. It's just phenomenal what she can do in the ring. So yeah, that would be an interesting tag team. Now here's another tag team that I put together. I think would be kind of good. I'd put Shelly Martinez, aka Salinas, and Raquel Diaz, aka Shao Guerrero, together just because I can do that. No, let me stop. I think I put them together just because I think it would be another interesting tag team. They're both Mexican. Salinas is Mexican. Raquel's Mexican. You have your Mexican-based tag team. You know, it would just be great to see them two, together. Like, picture Raquel being ghetto coming out. They both coming out in a low rider. You know what I'm saying? The shit would be kind of hot, man. What I would do with them, and stuff. So, yeah, it would be very interesting to see that tag team. Number 9, Michelle McCool and Victoria. The reason I put Victoria with Michelle McCool because I think Victoria as a powerhouse has great wrestling skills, and you know how I feel about Michelle McCool. Even though I don't like Michelle McCool as a person, or not as a person, but as a diva, she wasn't never one of my favorites, whatever, whatever. But I never denied her talent, man, and her smarts in the ring. And them two together now. Why didn't they say put it with Melina? Because or Natalia. But that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to see two great diva mat technicians together. I don't know. It would just something about it would just bug me. I don't know what it would be. You know what I'm saying? But to have like Michelle McCool with a powerhouse, I think it would be real good to see. You know what I mean? I would enjoy that very much. Michelle McCool and Victoria be a pretty good tag team. Number 10. Now, like I said, I might put more later on, but I put this tag team together just because, like I said, I would like to see things different, man, and just to see how they would go. I put Candice, Michelle, and Becky Bayless together. Now, I praise Becky Bayless. A lot of people don't give Becky Bayless props. Which people know her as Cookie. She don't wrestle in Impact Wrestling, but Becky Bayless, man, what can I say, man? I watched some of her matches and she's good in the ring, man. And Candice was decent spots in the ring. Candice was pretty good in the ring too, and it would be interesting to see these two together and just you know just have them go all out. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I'm putting tag teams together that you wouldn't expect to see together, but just think about what they can do in the ring if they were together. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people that didn't watch Becky Bayless matches, man, go watch them. She's great, man. And Candice was, I wouldn't say great at what she did at that time because, she was in a time there where there was when Lita was there, and then Lita left, and then you had your other people like you had Tori and you had Stacy Keibler and so forth, Molly Holly. So Candice got lost in the mix somewhat. You had Trish there, so yeah, Melina came in, whatever. But Candice was underrated, just like I think Layla's underrated. You know what I mean? So you know what can you do? But there you have some of what I have in store for, or I had in store for Taboo Tuesday. You know, doing it on Wednesday. And like I said, man, anybody out there, any wrestling shooters, Big Mike, Mugga Baby, anybody, anybody does wrestling shooting, from 420 Goonie to Pizza Hut Guy to wrestling merchandise to Miss WWE, just come up with your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the question for y'all. If you can create a Diva faction, who would the leader be? Who would the co-leader be? Who would be your members? If you can create Diva tag teams, put Divas together, who would you put together? You can do top 10, top 15, top 5, top 20, top 25. It doesn't matter. That's a question to y'all. Just like I asked my first Taboo Tuesday debut, Taboo Tuesday. If you can create a Diva organization, what would you name the organization? Who would you have as your GM, your owners, so forth and so forth, members, champions, rivalries. What would you name the pay-per-views? What would you name the shows? So forth and so forth. Jinx Nation will be back in 2.2 seconds. See you on the flip side. One.